Well, here you have it, people. This is going to be a fun project. On today's video, we're going to do the alternator. Fucking shit. Tools you need for this job is a serpentine belt toolkit, a hammer, flathead screwdriver, 2 different sizes of ratchets, alternator, of course, an adapter, a 10mm, a 13mm, and a 15mm, a long extension bar, and a 3/8 swivel joint adapter. So the location of the alternator is located right down there. It's hard to see it, but it's basically all the way down there in the back. To get access to that, you have to go underneath the car. Alright, so at the passenger side tire, we loosen the lug nuts, jack up the vehicle. Once it's up, now we add the jack stand. Next, we'll release the pressure from the hydraulic jack to lower it into the jack stand. Okay, so we're gonna pump the hydraulic jack back up. The reason why is just to have extra security, so you don't want nothing to happen to you. If this fails, rely on this. Once that's up and secure, check both of them, stable. Now we go ahead and remove the lug nuts and take out the wheel. Now we're gonna add some wheel chokes on the backside tires for safety. Once you remove the wheel, you place it underneath the car to have another extra security. Just to add another layer of security, I'm gonna have my friend helping me out right here. Oh yeah, look at him, badass with his bow tie. He's gonna hold up the vehicle for me. Hashtag kiss my ass reaper. Next, we're gonna remove the lower splash guard from the vehicle, if your vehicle has it still. We use a 10mm socket for this. Once we got that removed, now we can actually see the alternator. Alright, for the next step, you're gonna use your serpentine belt tool. See that square hole right there? You're gonna place it there. If you don't have a toolkit, you can also use a ratchet. Alright, once you got that in place, as you see, it's right in place. You're gonna move it this way. You're gonna pull it towards you, and while you do that, the belt's gonna get loose and you pluck it out. But see this right here? I suggest you put something like a rag so this won't scrape into that. Alright, now pull. Now it's loose, and we got the belt out. You don't need to remove the belt completely out. That's if you want to change your serpentine belt as well, but this one is still good, so we're just gonna leave it on the side. So down here, we can remove the alternator now. There's no belt that's holding onto it. Once that's done, next you want to do is disconnect the negative line from the battery. You don't want nothing, some sparks flying or you getting electrocuted down there while handling the alternator. Alright, with your long extension, you're going to add the joint, the 3/8 swivel, an adapter. Then you're going to add the 10mm socket. You're going to use a ratchet for this side. Okay, so we're underneath the car right now, and the bolt that we need to take out is located, here's the alternator right here, here's behind it. It's located right here. See that right there? Let me get a little focus. That right there, we need to get that loose. Not this one right here. This one we could leave alone. It's just that one. And here's the problem that a lot of people seem to have is you cannot get your socket through here, because this is in the way, so you have no clearance for it. All this, It's the way how they built this car. So the best bet is to go across. That's the alternator. So you're gonna take the socket with the extension and you're gonna feed it through. You're gonna feed it through here. Where my finger's at, and it's gonna go across this way. Here's the extension. It's going all the way up here, behind the catalytic converter, that gap right there. And here's it at right. And this is where it's at right now. See? Now you have reach. With the help of the swivel joint, the adapter, and the 10mm with the long extension, now you have access to this. And that was the tricky bolt, and now we could get it out. So at the very end of the extension, you're just gonna add the wrench to it, and then you're just gonna twist. Okay, and now with the ratchet, we're gonna twist to get it loose. Almost out. And right here's the screw. Next step you need to do is remove the top bolt that holds the alternator on the harness, and you'll see, let me see if I got, see that right there? That's the bottom bolt, and the top one is right here. So to get nice access is right there. So to get nice access, you need to remove the coil pack, and then this harness, this wire harness, this whole thing right here is held by these two little things right here. And those you need is 10mm, excuse me, 8mm. So you take those out. Then once you take those out, you just remove it from there, and then you just push down. So you have a lot of room back there. As you can see, I already taken it out. And how I did that is by using this. All this for the top. And this would be a 13mm. So it's not really hard. It's quite easy. Alright. That's one. Now for the second one. To access the bottom bolt from the alternator. Remember that trick that we did earlier with the extension? You're gonna feed it through behind. But instead of that bolt that we took out earlier, instead of that one right there, let me see if I point up to it. Instead of that one right there, now we gotta go towards this one right here. You can't have, I'm gonna take it out a little bit. See that bolt right there? That's the bottom bolt. That's the alternator. See the alternator? Bottom bolt. Feed it through here. That long extension. And then use the ratchet at the end. And twist. And put some muscle into that. This job ain't for pussies. I'll tell you that. Once you do that, you break it loose. You can take out the ratchet and just spin the bar around until the bolt comes out. I took it out, and here's bolt number 2. We're almost there. Next, we need to remove the tie rod end. Not the whole unit, you don't need to unscrew it out. Just from here, so we can move it to the side. So we'll have room to wiggle it and take it out. So you take a 15mm socket. But don't take the nut fully out. You can take it out if you have a special tool that's like a fork. You shove it in there and you pop it out. If you don't have that, here's another option right here. You just tighten it up just as much as it's flushed. Once you get a flat, smooth surface, then we go on to the next step. Bang on the sides first to loosen it with vibration. Keep banging it, and then from the bottom, just bang up. You see now it comes out. You probably have to do this numerous of times, but eventually, all the time, it will come out. So now you just unscrew the rest of the way. Now we got the nut out. Just move it up, push it to the side. Now we have room to take it out. Then you take a flathead screwdriver and you just pry it out. You pry it out from here, and then you just pry it out from the top. And now it's loose. It's ready to come out. Alright, now you move it to this side. You don't want to take it completely out because you still have wires connected to it. You need to take out the power and this connector right here. The connectors right here, I see in other videos that they pull it out. It's not meant for that. It's a spring-loaded action, so you press down and then it'll come out. You push down, you pull out. And now with this, you take it out with a ratchet. 10mm socket. Loosen this up. Take it out. Lift up the connector. And then you turn it around. You see this little thing right here? This connector. You take a flathead and you lift up. Alright, next you want to compare the two parts. Of course, the new one to the left and the old one to the right. Now with the new part, it's simple. You just put everything back in reverse order. Once you put all the connectors back together, you start from the top bolt first. Like I said, everything in reverse order. Just seat this up nicely. Hold it with your hand. From the top, you have access to it, and then you just screw it back on with the extension bar. And then now we go for the bottom. Okay, here's the new alternator. And the bottom screw, it's right here. Here's the extension, the swivel, and tighten it back up. And then you just tighten the screw up right here. The screw that we started off untightening. Alright, make sure everything's all seated right. The belt on the pulleys. Start from the bottom, wrap it all the way up, but don't put it on top of here yet. This is the power steering pump, so you leave this off. What you're gonna do, put this rag right here so you won't damage the line. Create tension and put this on top, just like that. Make sure everything is seated nice. And let it go. Oh yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna lift this up. Okay. Make sure they're both seated properly. That's one of them. And the other one on the other side. I didn't record it earlier taking it out, but I'm gonna show how it is putting it back in. Now you take the nut, seat them in. Hand tighten them first. Then you take a 8mm deep socket with a little extension bar. Tighten it up. So you install the, I forgot what it's called, I'm fucking tired. Oh, my back is so sore. Okay, Then you just go ahead and install the coil pack. Now to take it out and to reinstall it, I have a separate video for that. I'll leave the link in the description below or at the end of the video. Now we'll go ahead and put back the tie rod. Alright. Put the nut back on and tighten it first. Then use a 15mm and tighten it real good. Real tight. Because this what controls the wheel turning left and right. So you want this really tight as possible. So you put back the tie rod, you go ahead and put up the splash guard. This one first. Now install the second splash guard. Now put back the wheel. Now hand tighten the lug nuts. Now we tighten it as much as we can. Then after that, then we go, once we lower the vehicle, then we can tighten it all the way. About the hydraulic. We lift this up, now we take out the jack stand. Now we release the vehicle. Vehicle lowered, now we can tighten it all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always tighten it across. Now we put the cap. Now we take out the rear chokes. We have it. We installed a new alternator. As you see back there, nice shiny. And you see it's not that complicated. I see on other YouTube channels that they want to remove the whole power steering fluid, the whole system. Some I see in another channel that they remove the CV axle, the whole CV axle to take it out. You don't need to make your life difficult. I just showed you a very simple way. By removing this, push down the wire a little bit, get access to the top bolt, and from underneath the car, get access to the bottom bolt. And everything else is child's play. So if you like today's video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If not, just give me a middle finger.